Everyone thinks that good stamina comes from long distance running and endless fitness drills. Well, that's exactly why most players never improve their stamina. I've ran in dozens of races and spent hundreds of hours training my stamina. And I can tell you, there's a better way to running endlessly. If you just give me 10 minutes, I will show you 5 different stamina techniques that will transform you into an absolute machine on the pitch. The 5th technique is the most powerful, but you need all 5 working together to get that insane improvement. Also, if you stick around to the end of the video, I've got something very special that will take your stamina training to the next level. So let's get into it. Number 1, breathing and hypoxia. This is gonna sound crazy, but you can actually increase your oxygen uptake by 20 to 30% without even doing a single sprint. Just how, you may ask? By simply breathing through your nose instead of your mouth. When you breathe through your nose, you filter the air, warm it up, and most importantly, you activate your diaphragm properly. This increases your oxygen efficiency instantly. The pros know this. That's why you'll rarely see elite players gasping through their mouths even during intense matches. Try this right now. Take a deep breath through your nose, filling your belly first, then your chest. Do you feel how much more control you have? Now compare that to mouth breathing, which is shallow and inefficient. Making this one change during training can dramatically improve your stamina within days. But if you really want to take your breathing to the next level, we need to talk about hypoxic training, or training in low oxygen environments. Elite athletes have been using this for decades by training at high elevations where the air is thinner. You may have heard your favorite fighter say they're gonna go live in the mountains to train, and this is for a reason. When you train at high elevations, your body produces more red blood cells to compensate for the lower oxygen. Then, when you return to normal altitude, those extra red blood cells give you a massive endurance advantage. It's like having a natural boost to your stamina. But I know what you're thinking. I don't live in the mountains. That's where elevation training masks come in. These masks limit your oxygen intake, simulating high altitude conditions no matter where you train. You may have seen your favorite athletes wear these during their training. A study in the Journal of Sports Science Medicine found that athletes using these masks experience significant improvements in their respiratory strength and endurance. The mask forces your lungs and diaphragm to work harder, making them stronger over time. But I need to be clear about something. These masks aren't for everyone. If you have high blood pressure, heart conditions, or any cardiovascular issues, do not use these masks. They can cause dizziness or even fainting in some people. So here's how to implement this technique. First, start practicing nasal breathing during all your training sessions for 2 weeks. Once that becomes comfortable, try adding the mask for short intervals. Start with just 5 minutes during warm-ups, then gradually increase as your respiratory system adapts. Number 2, steal some rest. Technique number 2 is what I call strategic rest stealing. The best players in the world aren't actually running for 90 minutes straight. They're masters of finding micro recovery moments that most players waste. Watch how players like Messi move. They're not constantly sprinting. They pick their moments, conserve energy when the ball is far away, and explode when it matters. Here's how to implement this. When the ball is on the opposite side of the pitch, don't just jog aimlessly. Use that time to regulate your breathing, shake out your muscles, and mentally reset. Let's try this drill. 30 seconds of high intensity work, followed by 15 seconds where you practice active recovery, walking with purpose, shaking out your legs, and breathing deeply through your nose. This trains your body to recover faster during those brief moments in a match. The biggest mistake I see is players who think they need to be sprinting everywhere to show effort. That's actually hurting your performance. Smart rest is what separates elite players from average ones. By this point, you have learned how to properly breathe and use hypoxic training. You've also learned how to strategically steal some rest, but we still have 3 more insane techniques to level up your stamina. Number 3, gut health microbiome. Technique number 3 is something 90% of players completely ignore, but science shows it can dramatically improve your stamina. Your gut microbiome. Recent studies with elite athletes have found that your gut bacteria directly impact your energy levels, recovery, and endurance. Athletes with diverse gut microbiomes have shown up to 13% better VO2 max scores. Now, if you're not familiar with VO2 max, let me break it down simply. VO2 max is basically the maximum amount of oxygen your body can use during intense exercise. Think of it as your engine's horsepower. The higher your VO2 max, the more fuel your muscles can use and the longer you can perform at a high intensity. It's basically the gold standard for measuring stamina in sports science. Now, I'll be honest, at first I barely did this at all. But after just a few weeks of focusing on my gut health, my recovery between training sessions improved dramatically. I could train harder on consecutive days without feeling drained. So here's what you should be doing. First, you need to cut out processed foods and excess sugar because they destroy your good gut bacteria. Second, you need to add fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, I don't really know how to say it, or kimchi to your diet at least 3 times a week. Third, you need to eat a variety of plant foods. Aim for at least, very minimum, 7 different types each week. Your gut bacteria produce short-chain fatty acid that fuel your muscles during endurance exercises. They also reduce inflammation, which means faster recovery between sessions. Here's what a gut-friendly pre-training meal looks like. Greek yogurt with berries, a handful of nuts, and a banana. This combination feeds your good bacteria and provides sustained energy for your session. Now, if you want a simple start, you can add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to your water before meals. This helps create an environment where good bacteria thrive. Number 4, ashwagandha. Technique number 4 is a game changer that elite cyclists have been using for years. Ashwagandha. This isn't some random supplement. This is backed by serious science. A study published in the Journal of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine found that athletes taking ashwagandha for 8 weeks improved their VO2 max by 13%, and their respiratory endurance significantly shot up as well. Ashwagandha works by reducing cortisol, your stress hormone, which helps your body use oxygen more efficiently. It also increases hemoglobin levels, which means more oxygen gets to your muscles during intense exercises. Now, I'll be for real. At first, I was skeptical until I tried it during preseason, and the difference was noticeable within 2 weeks. My recovery between high-intensity intervals improved dramatically, and I wasn't hitting the wall during the final minutes of training. Now it's just one of my daily supplements. If you want to try this yourself, start with 600 milligrams daily, split into morning and evening doses. And I'd suggest taking it with food for better absorption. Give it at least 3 to 4 weeks to see the full benefits. But just as a side note, this isn't a one and done magic pill. It works best when combined with the other techniques we're covering. Number 5, you're training wrong. Now for technique number 5. The most powerful one that will completely transform your stamina. The truth is, you've been training your stamina all wrong. Most players do long, steady state jogging for 30 to 45 minutes. But football isn't a marathon. It's explosive sprints, quick recovery, and repeat. Your training needs to match the actual demands of the game. So here's what you should be doing instead. Intermittent sprint training. This mimics the actual patterns of a football match and trains the exact energy systems that you need. So how about you try this exact drill? 6 seconds of all-out sprinting followed by 24 seconds of active recovery. And repeat this for 15 rounds. This only takes 7.5 minutes, but will improve your game stamina more than an hour of jogging. The reason this works is because it trains your anaerobic system, the energy pathway that powers your explosive movements during a match. It also improves your body's ability to clear lactic acid, which is what makes your legs feel heavy late in the game. And as promised, I've got something very special for you guys. I've created a free fitness and conditioning program with even more drills, exercises, warm-ups, and even testing, so you can test yourself and see how good your stamina really is. So if you want to go ahead and get that, link is in the description for that. Let's just remember that stamina isn't just about running more. It's about training smarter. Apply these 5 techniques consistently and you'll be the player still dominating when everyone else is gasping for air. Click here to watch more videos that will elevate your game to the next level.